What up, Huck Squad? Coming at you with my April in the bag edition. Tournament season just began. I feel like my bag is super set. Every disc in my bag is something that I feel confident in. I feel like I'm not ever on the course and I don't have a disc that I need. So I definitely wanted to update you guys on what's changed since my February in the bag. For any of you guys who entered my giveaway 2 episodes ago, for episode, I think it was 80, I'm going to be doing that at the end of this video, so definitely stick around and check that out, or just fast forward all the way till the end if that's all that you care about. But I'm going to get started on the in the bag. Probably like 5 to 6 discs have changed since my February in the bag, but I feel really confident with every disc in my bag, and I just wanted to update you guys on what I'm throwing. So I'll start off with my putters. Nothing's changed with my putters. I'm still throwing both KC Pro Aviars. I usually use this blue one to putt with. I only keep this yellow one just for warm-ups, or maybe I guess if anything goes wrong and I happen to lose this one middle of a round. But yep, putting with KC Pro putters, Aviars. I like how stiff they are. I like how they feel in my hand. I kind of press my thumb into them and it just feels really nice. Sometimes in the rain it gets a little bit slick, and sometimes as well they just don't really catch on the chains as well, but they're really solid, really great putters. On to 2 of my throwing putters. I throw the D-Line P1X. These ones are mostly for sort of hyzer flip, maybe like turnover putter shots. I've been throwing these a lot lately. This red one is a little more understable and the yellow one is a little more stable, but they'll both definitely turn over with some power off the tee. I've been throwing them off the tee a good amount, and I've really been liking the way that the D-Line P1X has been throwing. On to my next throwing putter is the D-Line P2. Normally I have the Psycho P2 in my bag, but I kind of misplaced it, so this one's brand new. It's a little more stable than the Psycho P2, but it'll hold dead straight for a long time and then it'll kind of fade. There really isn't that much turn in the P2 as compared to the P1X, so I like throwing this one for more straight shots, more shots that I know I need to fade at the end, but I really have been liking throwing the P2 off the tee. If any of you guys have been watching any of my videos, lately I've been putting what disc I've been throwing off the tee, and all the time I've been putting D-Line Psycho P2 or D-Line P1X, just because I really have a lot of control with them and I feel super confident in them. On to my overstable throwing putter, the S-Line P3X. Discmania just dropped the D-Line P3X, which I'm super excited to get. I'm going to order probably 2 of them and get them in the mail probably over the next week or 2, and I'm super stoked for those. They should beat in a little bit quicker, so I'm going to keep one as a more stable, and I'm going to throw one a ton so that it beats in really fast. But the S-Line P3X is like one of my most trusty throwing putters. I really like it. It's great for headwinds, it's great off the tee, very predictable. It'll hold straight, it'll fade pretty hard at the end. Anything you need a big hyzer. I've really been liking the S-Line P3X. It's a solid disc. It's super flat, it's got a great feel in my hand, it's got a small bead. It's really one of my favorite discs in my bag right now, the S-Line P3X. Moving up to my sort of a putter approach disc, my Harp. I've kind of moved away from the Harp a little bit. I keep it in my bag for the short flicks, probably like 200 and in up shots with a flick. I don't really backhand this too much just because now I have the P3X for those overstable backhands, but I used to like the Harp a lot more than I do now. I'm kind of transitioning more to backhand up shots just because I've found they're a little more consistent. Anytime I'm like 150 feet or in, sometimes I feel like if I flick the Harp, it can be a little bit touchy. Like if I don't put enough steam on it, or if I put too much steam on it, or if I kind of give it too much hyzer, it'll finish short. So I haven't really been throwing the Harp as much, but it's definitely a staple in my bag, and it's definitely something I still am confident in, but I just kind of have deviated a little bit away from it. And that's the only disc in my bag that's not Discmania, which is kind of cool. This is a new addition to my bag, the C-Line MD3. It's really solid, it holds straight. I kind of wanted to put this in my bag because I wanted something a little faster than my putters that'll still hold straight without really too much fade. It's kind of done that. I haven't really figured out if I like to power grip it or fan grip it yet, but it's definitely held its spot in my bag for about a week now. I haven't thrown it too much, but for when I do need to throw it, I'm pretty confident in it. I definitely want to do some more field work with it, but the C-Line MD3 is definitely a solid mid-range to have in your bag. Now moving up to my favorite mid-ranges and my only other mid-ranges, the C-Line MD4. Definitely my favorite mid-range that Discmania makes. It's super flat, super stable, great for headwinds. My blue one is more beat in, so it won't really fade as hard as the pink one, which is brand new. but it definitely still has some beef at the end of it. Definitely my favorite mid-range that they make. I haven't really learned how to flick a mid-range that well yet, but since this is so stable, it still does work pretty well for my flick, and it's really good for headwinds, really trusty. The C-Line MD4 is definitely an overstable mid-range that I feel like everyone should have in their bag. On to my next one, which is my first fairway driver, which is the G-Line FD. Whenever I need something to just go dead straight, or maybe if I want to put a little extra power on it, it'll turn for me a little bit, but this is a great hyzer flip disc. It's great for tunnel shots, it's great for the woods, it's great for tee shots. It's a really, really good disc. If you're looking for a straight fairway driver, straight out of the box, grab a G-Line FD, or even like an S-Line FD. These are really, really good discs. The rim's a little small, it's got a really good profile, it fits in your hand well. For a disc that has 7 speed, for it to have 6 glide is pretty ridiculous, just because you can just let this thing go and it's just gonna go forever. I don't think I would ever want to throw it further than like 350, 375, but definitely for those tight tunnel shots or for those dead straight shots that you don't really want too much fade or too much turn, the G-Line FD has been a money disc. It's been really solid. Moving up in stability a little bit, I have my C-Line FD3. I'm never backhanding this. This is strictly for flicks, and anything that is in between my Harp and one of my other drivers I'm coming up to, I'm definitely going to grab my FD3. I'm feeling like I should probably transition my flicks from my FD3 to my MD4, just because sometimes I use this for like the 250 to 300 kind of foot range, and I feel like if I learn how to flick a mid-range that distance, then it'll kind of be more controllable than this. This will have a really big skip at the end, and it's really overstable. It's kind of like a Firebird in the sense of how overstable it is, but the C-Line FD3 is definitely a great disc, and I used to throw it all the time. I got a new one that didn't really treat me like an FD3, and then I got this one, which is brand new, max weight, and it's definitely an FD3. Super stable, very trusty for headwinds. You can throw this in any wind, and it's definitely not going to turn over, at least when it's brand new. The C-Line FD3 is definitely a solid, trusty, predictable fairway driver. Moving up a little bit to my P-Line PD. This is kind of like my FD, except it's going to go a little further and it's going to have a little bit more fade at the end. If I really put some spin on it, it'll flip up and kind of turn a little bit and then come back, but it's going to come back much harder than my FD will. And you really got to put some power into this one. If you don't put power into it, then it's going to be stable, but if you do put power into it, it's really going to hold the line really well. I like this one for a little bit longer tunnel shots than my FD, maybe something I need to finish a little harder left. I never flick this, which is weird. But yeah, it's a great backhand disc, solid driver. I really like the PD. I dig the S-Line PD, and I wanted to try the P-Line. I don't really see that big of a difference other than maybe how fast it beats in. But the P-Line PD is definitely a solid disc to have in your bag. Now on to my distance drivers. I have 2 CD3s, one in the C-Line plastic and one in the S-Line plastic. Both of them are max weight. They're both really solid discs. These have been my go-to distance drivers lately. If I want max distance backhand, I'm grabbing my CD3, specifically this one. My blue one, the S-Line, once it beats in, it'll really flip up nice and just hold the line and then finally come back. My C-Line one, if I want to put some extra oomph into it, but I know that it's not going to turn too much, then I'm going to grab my C-Line one. Both of them go super far. I never flick these. I guess I need to teach myself how to flick like stable to neutral drivers on a hyzer. I'm not really good at hyzer flipping flicks. I like to flick something that's overstable, something trusty that I can just rip into and have it finish. But one of my goals this year is to learn how to flick neutral to stable drivers. So maybe I'll start learning how to flick these CD3s and get some extra distance out of them. But the C-Line and the S-Line CD3 are wonderful, wonderful drivers. If you need a new max distance driver from Discmania and you haven't really found it, you should definitely pick up one of these, specifically the S-Line one, just because you'll get a little bit more distance out of it. But yeah, I really couldn't speak any more highly of these discs. They're really, really solid. Anyone who plays with me knows whenever I'm trying to go far, I'm gonna grab the CD3. Really solid disc. Now on to my favorite disc that Discmania makes, and sort of more of a recent favorite disc. This one specifically is my C-Line PDx, and as you see, there's some signatures on it because I got my first ace with it about a month ago. But Man, do I love this disc for flicks, man. It is great. I can just mash into it. It'll turn a little bit, it'll come back. Super trusty in the wind. I don't backhand it too often because I have some other discs that I like to backhand, but if I need something stable, something that I know will go far on a backhand, then I'm definitely gonna grab this. I really couldn't talk any more highly about the PDx. It is an amazing disc. If I'm ever doing a round where I could only choose one driver, it is 100% gonna be the PDx, just because of how trusty it is, how stable it is, how good it feels in my hand. I love flicking it. And then Discmania just released this new Swirly S-Line plastic in the PDx, and man is this one stable. When I bought this I was like, you know, maybe I'll use this one for backhands, maybe it'll flip up a little bit more, it'll beat in, it'll be nice, but man is it stable. When I first got it, it was a meat hook right out of the box, but for flicks, for headwind, for anything you need it to finish way right on a flick or way left on a backhand, I really like the way that it feels in my hand. The rim is perfect size for me. I really love the PDx. Anyone who throws Discmania, if you don't have a PDx, you should definitely put a PDx in your bag. It is an amazing driver and it'll definitely shave some strokes off every round. And then on to my last disc, which is my beefiest disc, my S-Line PD2. I've had this one in my bag for probably over a year now and it's still super beefy. I can trust it in any headwind, I can trust it on any line. It's not really going to hold straight, which is good because it's not supposed to as a PD2, but the rim's really wide, it's great for flicks, it's super trusty. That's pretty much it. And then, yeah, that's everything in my bag. I kind of ran through it nice and quick for you guys just to keep it short and sweet, but just as a quick synopsis, if I were to play around with just 3 discs, I would do the P3X as my throwing putter, just because I can kind of manipulate it really well. I would do the PDx as my driver because as well I can put it on a flick, I can backhand it, I can pretty much manipulate it as well as I want. And then I would probably do my MD4, most likely my blue one, just because it's nice and stable. I can trust it in the wind, I can trust it for those, you know, 200 to 300 foot shots that I need to finish left. It's really solid. So those would be the 3 discs. I'd probably choose the P3X, the MD4, and the PDx. Solid discs. Yeah, and then my bag, nothing's changed about my bag. I do kind of want to show you guys, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it, but look how sweet this is. Can you see that? That Rick and Morty pin? That is wicked cool, I love that. And then I have a Morty one that says, "Saw dude." And then I also have these cool little Overwatch bag hangers, Reinhardt and Tracer. I don't know, I guess I'm kind of a nerd when it comes to that type of stuff, but I love Rick and Morty, I love Overwatch, so I had to throw that stuff on my bag. Shout out to my friend Josh Quackenbush. He gave me my first ace pin. I don't know if you can see that either, but there it is. And yeah, that's kind of the swag that's on my bag. That is pretty much it for my in the bag, and now I'll get into my giveaway. I think there was like 13 or 14 people that entered, so I threw all the names into these discs, and I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna shuffle it around. I'm not gonna look. I'm gonna look just so that they don't blow away, and this is the one. Cover it up just so they don't fly away. Let's see who the winner is. Andy Eckerson. Nice job, Andy. You've been a long-time supporter of my channel and my Instagram, so I'm really happy that you won this. So what you won is, so you won a S-Line P2, which I used to throw a little bit, but lately I've been, in my P2, I've really liked the D-line, so I kind of moved away from the S-Line, but you got an S-Line P2, you got a brand new KC Pro Rock, I think it's a 177, so that's gonna be a nice trusty mid-range. And then you got a pretty much brand new S-Line DDX. Honestly, I don't really like the DDX that much as Discmania. For me personally, I have pretty big hands and the rim is pretty small. I find that it's kind of inconsistent for me personally off the tee, but it's a solid disc for sure. And it's a 12 speed, a 6 glide, so it's definitely gonna hold pretty straight and then finish strong at the end. But yeah, Andy, I'm super pumped that you just won the giveaway just because you've been such a long time supporter, and it's cool to finally give back to you, man. It's really cool. You love birds too, which is awesome. I love birds too, especially hawks. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed the in the bag. Check out the rest of my channel. Subscribe, like, and comment just because it really means the world to me. Every single piece of engagement is really, really cool to me. It's just, I really can't believe like how far this channel has come, how committed I am to it. It's been really, really cool. I put a ton of work into all these videos, man. I put a ton of work. Yeah, thank you guys for checking out the episode and the In the Bag. I feel super confident with every disc in my bag heading into this tournament season, so I'll catch you guys in the next video.